What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Round Recap, where we recap the latest round of rugby league, and we provide commentary on things that happen, witty commentary. All right, I talk the ins and outs of everything that happened. All right. Just before we get into the deep dive, all right, I will just come out and say that it's a Sunday, and this round hasn't fully commenced. Commenced is the beginning. I don't know the end. Yeah, this round hasn't fully finished. Okay, we still got the Bulldogs and the Parramatta Eels to play tomorrow at 4 p.m. on a Monday. All right, before you all get your pitchforks out and start, petitioning for me to be burned at the stake. All right, selling wish trials. Before any of that commences, all right, I wanted to let you know that this isn't my fault. It's not my doing. And if you want to burn anyone at the stake, all right, if you want to pick your pitchforks up for anyone, all right, do it for the New South Wales Premier, all right, because I didn't give yous a public holiday for yous to play rugby league. Okay, I didn't give the New South Welshmen a Monday off so that the Bulldogs could play the Parramatta Eels. I didn't do that, all right. And as far as scheduling goes, there's a huge scheduling issue there with me trying to make a video while the game's being played. One, I can't watch the game. Two, I can't record the video. And if the video's not out on a Monday, it comes out on a Tuesday. It's kind of pointless. Like, everyone's got sources off of everyone else. You're not coming here first to find Field Insights because we're the first one on the scene on the Monday afternoon, all right? So it's a scheduling issue, and that's why we're skipping it. But when we get to the end of the video, we'll talk some predictions. We'll give some witty commentary on it. But, all that aside, we'll kick it off from the Thursday night game, Knights versus Manly Sea Eagles. Look, I've already done the deep dive into this game, guys. I recorded, a 15-minute video before I started fondling with the wires that are connected to the camera, and I unplugged the camera. So, not as simple as plugging it back in either. Newcastle Knights versus Manly Sea Eagles. If I can quickly, grab up a couple points from what I've already said, let's just dot point style, all right? Manly, 16-0 first half. None of my try scorers had scored for a multi. Turned the game off at half-time, go to bed. Cozy in bed, kicking my feet, giggling. Get a message about 30 minutes in, telling me that my multi has gotten up from an outside source. Check on the game, just in time to see Kalen Ponga score a try. Boom. That is the summary of what I've already said this afternoon about this game. But all the dot point style aside, it was a really good game, guys, all right? The first half was poo. Second half had moments. And, Manly, you're hot and cold. One week, you're just dominating the Cowboys. Next week, you're losing to the Knights. What's doing the worst attacking side in the league, and you're losing to them? So, is that is that a defensive issue for Manly? Because that first half, Manly should have put 50 on them. And they didn't. All right, so who's at fault there? I think Manly are hot and cold. Hot, cold. Win one, lose one. Win one, lose one. That's a poo side. That's all the great signs of a poo side. All right. Manly now need to knuckle it. Like, they needed to win this game to hang around in that top 8. Manly really need to knuckle down and chase this back end of the season. Daly Cherry Evans probably needs to say to Billy Slater, hey, I don't want to play State of Origin. It's my last year at Manly. I think I want to stay with the club, try and get us through this Origin period, win as many games as we possibly can with a full-strength side. Let Tom Dearden take the rest of the year. I'll come back next year when I'm playing for the Roosters or the Dolphins. I'll come back next year and play State of Origin, all right? That might be my final hurrah for Origin. This year, it's not necessary that he plays Origin this year, okay, guys? I think everyone's worried of putting up the pitchforks once again, right? The Daly Cherry Evans fans being like, oh, well, if you sack, you skip. If you sack, you skip. From State of Origin, from the Queensland side, ain't. Pick and stick. What happened to pick and stick? Blah, blah, blah. You're going to sack, you skip. bro, it's probably within his best interest. It's in Queensland's best interest if we just let Tom Dearden have a run. All right, sorry, I'm getting Snapchat notifications. I think it's best we give Tom Dearden a run. DCE sits out. You know, you've got your club is. It's on the premise of, you know, premise. They're on the verge of that top 8. Like, they're sitting in the top 8. They're close to falling out of it. If I'm Daly Cherry Evans, I go, well, this is my last year at Manly. I know I've said this before. This is my last year at Manly. I'm going to step aside and I'm going to try and take my club to a finals. I'm going to try and win a finals for my last game at Manly. That makes the most sense to me. He's not retiring from the NRL. He's just retiring from Manly. So there's a great chance he plays Origin next year. I say, yeah, skip Origin, bruh. Play for your club, because that was a poo loss. And Newcastle showed, you know, nothing in the first half. A basic comeback. And Manly choked it. So I probably went too in depth on that. But the whole day, I think that's a great point as to why Daly Cherry Evans shouldn't play number 7 for Queensland. He's got a lot to worry about. Like when Latrell said, I'm going to step aside from New South Wales to help the club. You know, be a man. Be a man and back your club for your last year. Okay? Storm vs Cowboys, first game of the Friday night. This was a Vossi bopping, bit of a whopping, bit of a whacking. Haven't said whacking in a while. Bit of a whacking. Competitive game for bits. I think the first half was tight. If I remember correctly, I'm not too sure. But Melbourne really opened this up. The stars were really there. No Papenhuyzen, no Coates. What he's doing to the most prolific try scorers in the club. He's not scoring tries against the Cowboys. The Cowboys showed great signs. Tom Dearden showed great signs, all right, of reasons why he should probably be playing number 7 on Queensland. But, like, you know, the Storm just walked all over the Cowboys, which I think everyone thought they would. But, you know, the Cowboys did better than I expected. I honestly seen this at Amy Park. I honestly seen it going 50, 60 to 20 or something. I don't know. Good game. I don't have much to say about it. All right, I was at a family dinner. I was at the dinner table, all right, trying to collect stats, insights for this episode of Round Recap. All right. A fancy Japanese dinner, right? Drinking sake and sunset fireball cocktails, right? Eating medium rare Wagyu steak, right? It was a beautiful dinner, but a great game of rugby league nonetheless. Okay, so congratulations to the Storm. I don't know much else to say. The Dolphins 56-6. I was in and out of this game. I'll say right now, I wasn't all in, I wasn't all out. You know, I was peeking at the score. You know, I came home from dinner, I flicked it on the TV, and I was, this looks all right. You know, it looks, nah. But, you know, the Dolphins attacked them and brutalised them, which I didn't see coming. I honestly thought the Dragons would make it a tight game, because the Dragons tend to do that. They tend to just grab clubs and just make them play really tough, muddy, gritty footy. And the Dolphins said no. That we're going to jump you and we're going to stack 50 on your lad, which they did. All right, all the stars for the Dolphins showed up. You know, the Isakos, the Hammers, the Herbies. You know, all the stars for the Dolphins showed up. I don't have much else to say about it. Good game, I'd imagine, if I watched it. Woo! Would have been good, I bet. So, yeah. On to the Sharks versus the Warriors. On to the Wars, all right. I just want to start by saying really quick, all right, because I'm sure going into this game on the Saturday, all the Cronulla fans, and anyone really, because the Sharks were the favourite. And I even picked the Sharks. But a lot of people were sitting there, you know, Cronulla fans, majority of this would be the Cronulla fans. Nobody beats the Sharks in the dark Sharkpark. Nobody beats the Sharks in the dark Sharkpark. You know, nobody beats the Sharks in the dark Sharkpark. You're not going to beat the Sharks in the dark Sharkpark. Yeah, that just doesn't happen. Nobody beats the Sharks in the Sharkpark. Nobody beats the Sharks in the Sharkpark. Well, lad, 40-10, you got 30 stacked on you. It was dark, there was sharks, and it was at Shark Park, and you got 30 stacked on you. What's your excuse, lad? Up the Wars, alright? Honorary War. I should have the scarf on. I should have something here to just let you know. You gotta be the Sharks in the dark in the Shark Park. Come to the dark in the dark Shark in the Shark Park. You got 30 stacked on you, lad. You got brutalised. Tight first half. Guess what, lad? Smashed. Smashed second half. Smashed. Brutal. It was gnarly stuff. Really gnarly stuff. That Luke Metcalf, that kid can play footy. Just everyone for the Warriors was playing there. Playing out well and truly out of their boots. Well and truly out of their boots. Kurt Capewell stood up. He was playing unbelievable footy. A youthful side. Wade Egan's out. I think it was Sam Healy, something like that. He was coming on. I think he was playing hooker. Not sure, but, you know. No Wade Egan, no Mitch Barnett. 20, 21-year-olds left, right, and centre for the Warriors. All right, that forward pack was just youth. James Fisher-Harris. Can't forget about the fish. Can't forget about the fish in the dark of the Sharkpark. Right? Just trots through unscathed. Scores a try. The fish. Wise old sage, Penrith. Can't beat the Sharks in the dark of the Park. Right? Well, they did. It was a good game to watch. This one really got me out of my seat. The Warriors played well and truly out of their boots. Out of their rugby league kicks. Good game to watch. The Sharks suck. And, you know, they might make the finals. They'll get knocked out straight away. Shout out to the Wires. And that's a good win. That's a statement win for the Wires. Beating the Sharks in the dark of the Shark Park. On to the Broncos versus the Titans. A couple things to say here. 1, Broncos. Black kit. Looked mad. Black Dog Institute. Everything they're doing with that. Men's mental health. Donating all of the money they get from the jerseys to men's mental health. Or a percentage. I don't know. Right? I'm not a Broncos advocate. Come in the Jocks and Dock Shark Park. The kit looked mad. They looked like the All Blacks out there. And then they played like the freaking All Blacks. They played like the All Blacks. Shibazaki gets a double. Stags was out there scoring tries. Reece Walsh, I'm pretty sure, got a double. Some winger, never heard of him, scores. Debut, probably. Great try. Corey Jensen, I think, scored a try. And there was Campiero. The rest of it was just the Campiero show. He scored a few tries for the Titans. Good game. Great game. Can't think of anyone else who scored for the Broncos. But 44-14. I was at a function once again for this game. I didn't watch too much rugby league this weekend, guys, other than the Sunday games. But yeah, Broncos, smash them. Black kit looked great. Looked like the All Blacks. Played like the All Blacks. Big win. Can't beat the Sharks in the dark of the Shark Park. Raiders 36, Rabbitohs 12. This one's pretty fresh in my mind. I only just recently watched it. Yeah, we led it first half. Yeah, we led it first half with 12-0, and then Ethan Strange scores before the second half, and he brings it to 12-6. He brings it to 12-6 before the second half, and you know, then he scores again right after the second half, right after the first half. We come back to the second half and he scores again. It's 12-12, and then you know, who scored after that? I don't know. It all sort of just blurs into one. I'm pretty sure it was Zach Hosking. It was just try after try after try. Josh Papali'i scores a double. I'm really happy for Josh Papali'i. Congratulations. Converts his own try, scores a double, wins the game. Woo-hoo. Great performance for Josh. Big paps. Big papa. But for South Sydney, it was Alex Johnson and don't even know who scored the other try for South Sydney. That's how bad that is. Keon Klomatangi. Great game, guys. The Rabbitohs, they're starting really well. They're having great first halves. They're going out there and the middles are playing their hearts out. They're defending really well. Trell's kicking really well in them first halves. But fatigue sets in with that side in the second half. And we just like go to playing New South Wales Cup level footy, and it sucks. But it is what it is. I really set myself up for this one. I was like, oh, we're going to lose. I really set myself up to lose here because it's the Raiders and they've been playing really well and they're probably going to play in a grand final. So, you know, I knew this one was coming, so it was easy to let myself down. And watching, Big Papa get 2 tries and converted a goal. a try. It was good. It was good to see. So congratulations, Raiders. Congratulations, Big Papa, on your 320th game, I think. And congratulations, Euron Aiken as well. And congratulations, Reno as well. There's a lot of big milestone players this week. On to the game I just watched, Tigers versus Penrith. This game kind of sucked, guys, I'll be honest. There wasn't many moments in the first half where I got out of my boots. Milky Bar Kid scores first. Stafford To'o, I'm pretty sure, scores second. And then someone scores again for the Tigers. Pretty sure it's Taruva. And then Milky Bar Kid scores again. Going to the sheds at 10-all. Or Nathan Cleary converts a goal. Second half, 12-10. And then Penrith score again. It's just a really boring game, to be honest. I think this had everything in the had the making for a great Sunday game, and it just wasn't great. It could have gone really close there. Skelton scored a try at the end for the Tigers, bringing it at 10-14. 14-18, sorry. Had all the makings, but just both sides look really ill-disciplined. As I just say nearly every week, Tigers and Penrith look really poo. And, still feels good to say that Penrith look poo. I don't have anything else to say about this game. It's the most fresh game in my head, and I just don't have much to say about it because it made me feel meh. And then on to the Bulldogs versus the Parramatta Eels, guys. The Bulldogs completely dominated the Parramatta Eels. 36-4. What a game. What a performance from Stephen Crichton. All right, he went out there and he played out of his skin. Okay. Huge carries out of Max King and Kurt Mann. Connor Tracy had a great game out the back. Okay, he was playing really well. Oh, Jacob Kiraz on return. Scores a hat trick. Matt Burton doing the Burton bomb here and there and everywhere. Guess what, guys? What's the kid's name? What's that new kid's name? Toby Sexton's replacement. What's his name? Lockie Galvin even came on the field and he scored 4 tries. So, what a game. What a game, guys, at Accor Stadium. You know, the doggies really turned up for this one. Congratulations. Congratulations on Stephen Crichton scoring 6 tries in a row, unanswered tries. You know, final score 80-4. You know, shout out to Lomax as well. No, I'm sure the Bulldogs going to win this. I'm sure it's probably not going to be that big of a blowout. I think Parramatta honestly will probably hold them for a little bit there. But the Bulldogs will win this. So, yeah. And then the Roosters have a bye. Boom, that's the round recapped. I don't know who I'm going to pick. All right. For player of the round. Well, we've got to pick a game of the round first. And I don't have too many game of the round candidates. Because none of these were really close games. I guess you could say the Knights versus the Manly Sea Eagles was game of the round. Because of... because it was 26-22. You could say that that's game of the round. But I'm not going to say it's game of the round, guys. I'm going to pick the Sharks versus the Warriors. 10-40. Listen, I know it's a huge blowout game. But I think you've got to look more at the circumstances. Because realistically, nobody beats Sharks in the dark at the Sharkpark. Nobody beats Sharks in the dark at the Park. Right? And the Warriors beat them. And they smashed them too. With Wade Egan and Mitch Barnett out. Okay, so... yeah, this is my game of the round, all right? Congratulations, Cronulla Sharks. Congratulations to the Warriors. You guys win game of the round, round 14. Fun Field Insights game of the round, round 14. Congratulations. And, can't be the dark of the Sharkpark Park. Player of the round, guys. I don't know. I honestly don't know who's player of the round here, okay? There's a few candidates, I guess. A lot of them I'm forgetting. I'm gonna go ahead and just give it to Big Papa. I'm gonna give it to Big Papa because he scores a double. Right? He ran for a little bit. He didn't have like an outstanding run meters or anything. He was pretty average, but he scores a double and he kicks a goal. 320th game. You know, may as well give him player of the round. I say. Actually, you could say Ethan Strange. Ethan Strange really brought him back into that game. Damn. I think if Ethan Strange was here getting the award, he'd say give it to Josh Papali'i for his 320th game, scoring 2 tries and kicking a goal. Congratulations, Josh Papali'i. You are Fine Field Insights Player of the Round, round 14. Congratulations. That medal's coming your way, all right? There's probably a picture of you on screen wearing the medal, all right? AI on that. Anyways, guys, that's it. That's it. We've recapped the round. Next week, we head back into bye round footy, I believe. No. Yes, we do. We head back into bye round footy. Rabbitohs play the Bulldogs. Cowboys play the Dolphins. Roosters play the Knights. Titans play the Eagles. And Dragons play the Sharks. We're back into bye round footy, all right? Sorry about the vacuum in the background. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe. Check out my socials, Instagram, TikTok. All right, we're at 38 subscribers at the time of recording. This could be at 39 by the time I post it. We're still looking to get to 50. We're really close. So that's cool. And yeah, so by you liking and subscribing, you liking the videos and subscribing to the channel is going to help me out immensely, all right? Yeah. I know you probably think, liking doesn't really do anything for him. You know, I'm going to chuck him a subscribe. I really appreciate the subs as well, but the likes actually help me out with the YouTube algorithm, all right? It gets my videos seen. So take a little bit of time here today. Press the like button. Press the subscribe button. Please, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later in the week for Punters Playbook. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Can you give me a quick shout out? Can you look at the camera and say, Jai Gray, please come on the show?
Jai Gray, please come on the show, mate. You're a great ambassador for the game. Please come on.
Cheers, guys.